We're joined right now by the one and only Keith Urban. What's up, baby?
How's it going? I don't know if it's morning or evening. What time is it there?
Brother, it's who knows what time it is, honestly. These days, it's
Who
just,
knows? Yeah,
or
it's
what
it's
day
now.
it is. You know, it's just day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How are you
Yep.
feeling today? I mean, this
That's
has
right.
got to be great for you. 3 CMA nominations. It's huge.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's surreal to see how this album, The Speed of Now, has connected with everybody. I've been making music for a long time, but I've never had the reaction like I have to this particular one. So the only bittersweetness of it is that I can't get out and tour right now, and
Right.
to have a record like this do what it's doing and not be able to tour is incredibly frustrating.
But it's also interesting to think about how well it's doing and you're not touring it, right? But think about that. Even while you're not touring it, people are loving it. Does that mean when you get back to touring, it's going to be received even better? Like, what do you think the tour is going to be?
Everybody will know the songs. That's good.
Right.
I just, I'm just looking forward to touring. That's it. And this album was really built on playing these songs live. I think I subconsciously, at the least, I'm always subconsciously aware of what these songs will be like to play live, and this album is really built for that. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me this. The 3 nominations definitely means that you're going to be performing at the CMAs this year. Have they told you anything about what the show might look like? Or is everybody going to be in the same building? What's your performance going to be?
It's going to look like The Masked Singer. No, it's Who knew that show was so ahead of its time?
Right.
Actually, I think it's going to be really good. I know that Darius and Reba are going to do a great job hosting it, and it's going to be a mix of, I think, a lot of different kinds of performers. I'm not sure of the exact layout just yet, but I'm going to be doing an acoustic solo stripped down version of God Whispered Your Name from this album.
It's going to be awesome, man. And I think about you and your relationship with the CMAs. This is 3 nominations, but you've had 50 nominations over the years. I mean, 12 wins. Right, we just got to...
Did somebody say wow in the background? That was crazy.
Someone said wow, wow in the background. I mean, that's no small...
That's great.
Do you remember the first time you walked that carpet for the CMAs? I think we have an image of you and your mom, I think, that first time around. What do you remember about that time?
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Look at that. Look at that ill-fitting suit right there. Like, give that guy a sandwich, for goodness sakes. I was a starving musician still, even at my first CMAs, apparently. It was surreal to get to go to it, growing up with it, watching it over the years, even being in Nashville for many, many years before I got invited to the ball. It was surreal to get to be able to go. And then when you get nominated, it's a surreal feeling too. And then winning is just a whole other very crazy, wonderful feeling.
You talk about this album being received well. You also talk about it being a really real album for you personally. You share things about it, or you share things about yourself and your story that I don't think you've ever necessarily shared. The song "Say Something" was one that for me was like, whoa! It had such an emotional pull and even maybe a plea for people. What was the inspiration behind it for you?
Yeah, it was a song that the couple of the writers had started on it already, and so it was in the direction of more of a social commentary song about speaking up for the things you believe in. I've always tried to do that through my art. I've never been a sort of stand on a soapbox kind of artist.
Yeah.
The things I believe in, the things that I support is very apparent in my music, in my songs, in my life. But that song I also felt could go in the direction of other kinds of things that need to be said. And I grew up in a house where we didn't really speak about intimate things, you know, and I know a lot of people can relate to that. And there was times when we should have said things and we didn't. And so Say Something as a song started to cover not only socially speaking up, but also intimately in the home, speaking up in relationships and families as well.
Keith, tell me this, and I want to ask this respectfully, but I wonder if you kind of working through that in this song, is that something that already is reflected in your home and your own relationships? Are you speaking up more, speaking out more, speaking on things that matter to you more at home and things like that?
I'm learning a lot about that. Fortunately, I have a wife that is incredible at communicating and talking about things, all kinds of things. And I wasn't raised like that. So it's changing me in a lot of ways, and our family benefits from that. I love my family, you know, my mom and dad and my brother. It's only ever about what you know, right? If you don't know it, you can't teach it to your children or anybody else. And I feel very grateful that my wife came into this with a very good way of communicating. It's helped all of us.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's beautiful to also see you sharing that side of you. I really do appreciate it. One of the other things that I love about a Keith Urban album is that you will collaborate, brother. You will bring people into your process in a way that is like, oh, you know this is gonna be good. You and Pink, I mean,
yeah. Oh my gosh, Pink. I mean, I've always wanted to do a song with her, always, ever, and it never happened because I don't know her. And I know it's crazy. I met her at an award show one time, and it was very brief, like, hi, okay. You know, it was just very brief. But I always underneath felt like someday we'll have a song that I think will work for us. And One Too Many was it. And I sent it to her. I found a way to get it to her, and luckily she loved it. And oh my gosh, hearing her voice on that song, just magical.
Tell me the trade-off was, she said, I'll do the song if you do the acrobatics with me. Tell me she got you wired up, flipping off a building or something.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's how she records, is hanging upside down. And I had to do the same, which was a first. I've never hung upside down like that and spinning around while I'm trying to sing the song. But that's, you know, that was, I'll do anything for her.
Brother,
I'm a team player.
Brother, you got the chops. You got the chops for it. Okay, so we've been talking to a lot of people about the turning point in their life or their career, that moment that really things either clicked in or shifted early in their careers or earlier in their personal lives. Do you remember that moment? It felt like everything kind of changed for you.
Yeah, last Tuesday. So that's good that it finally
finally clicked it.
I think it's a really good question. I think it's always been incremental big things, but sort of cumulative awakening and aha moments and growing. And I'm still doing that. I mean, I'm very much a work in progress. And this album, I think, is such a good example of that. It's different to the last record. The last record was different to the one before that. So I'm continuing to find ways that I can bring new colors and sounds and rhythms and textures into what I do.
What would you say is your greatest accomplishment so far?
That's hard to put it into words. I would say marrying my wife and getting sober, for me personally, were two of the biggest accomplishments in my life. Having children, being able to do what I do in Nashville. I mean, it's a life dream I've had since I was 7 years old. All I wanted to do was live in America and make records and tour and maybe get my songs on the radio. So to be able to have done that and still to be able to do it is, I'm speechless about it, quite frankly. I really am. I'm grateful for it so deeply.
Tell me this, and this is not on a card, but it just came to me because I think about you being that little kid, that 7-year-old, wishing and dreaming and hoping, and also maybe thinking, could it ever actually happen to me? What would you tell that little kid, knowing what you know now, surviving what you've survived? What would you tell that 7-year-old dreamer?
Nothing. I don't want anything to change on that trajectory, because whatever all those detours were, especially the really dark ones, got me to where I am now. And I love everything about where I've been able to get to in my life right now. So I would not want to change one leaf on any tree on the whole journey.
I hear that, brother. I love it. Okay, we're going to play this little game real quick because somebody worked real hard at it. It's called Urban Legend. It's our version of Truth or False with Keith Urban. Okay. Is it true or is it an urban legend your favorite songwriting hideout is the shower?
True, in the sense of a lot of my ideas come in the shower. Yes. Yeah. But I don't know if you could write songs in the shower. It'd be very difficult, wouldn't it? Getting the guitar in there, getting your co-writer in there.
I mean, it'd at least it'd be wet. I don't know about anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one? Is it true or an urban legend that one of your go-to songwriting snacks is a fried pimento cheese sandwich? And I said pimento like Kit says pimento. Hopefully that's right.
Pimento cheese sandwich. I don't really have any go-to snacks. That's a good one though. Okay. I think that's an old Wikipedia piece of trivia right there. But that's a good. Pimento cheese anytime is good.
There it is. We'll chuck that under urban legend. Okay, let's see. What about this one? Is it true or urban legend that your nickname growing up was Suburban?
Yeah, it's true. One person down the street used to keep calling me Suburban because I had an older brother, and just so that they didn't get confused which one they were talking about, I was the one under the older one, so I was Suburban. Hello. Thanks.
Actually, it actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, this is my favorite one, and I'm dying to get to the bottom of it. Is it true or an urban legend that you rescued a kitten named Gucci?
No, that's completely false. Gucci, that's awesome. No, we didn't rescue a kitten called Gucci.
What's the kitten's name?
Louis.
Well, there you go. Urban legend, I suppose. Urban legend.
Urban legend. That's right.
Brother, it's so good to see you. Congratulations on the nominations, the new album, everything.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, man. You can check out Keith. He's going to be on the CMAs coming up pretty soon, and his new album, The Speed of Now Part 1, is out. Do not miss it.